The Boston Celtics are the only team this season in the top 5 for both offensive and defensive rating, so that's pretty dope. They've looked like either the best team in hoops or the worst shooting team of all time depending on the week, but overall, they're winning. A lot. I've talked about strategic moves, scheme changes, play calls, and overall performances that have shaped this squad. Today I wanted to dig into a few individual trends that I've enjoyed with regards to player development. To accomplish that, let's talk about the core, Smart, Brown, and Tatum. The oldest and most veteran member of this trio, Marcus Smart, still continues to grow. His points, rebounds, and percentages are nearly on point with his career averages, but he's dishing out a career-high 7.2 assists per game with only 2.4 turnovers. In his second season as the Celtics' full-time starting point guard, Smart has become the exact type of floor general that fans have begged for years. That's a testament to his work ethic and the trust that he's received from the organization to run the show. It feels like he's really embraced this role too. There's less games where he decides it's his turn to be the number one option, and more where he dominates the pace as a playmaker. Smart has already logged a career-best 8 games with 10 or more assists, including his career-high 15 assist game against Charlotte. He's always been good at getting the Jays good shots, but even that has continued to blossom. Last season, Smart assisted Brown 92 times. They're already at 89 this year. I couldn't talk about Marcus without mentioning the playmaking, but I've also appreciated his work as a scorer. As I said before, he hasn't tried to hijack the offense, but he's picking the right time to be aggressive, and he's actually grown. In the Warriors matchup, he created for himself quite a bit and took it right at Curry's chest, drilling a few step backs and off the dribble jumpers. Admittedly, his shooting percentage on pull-ups aren't good, but if you're trying to understand Marcus Smart, percentages are never the place to look. He might be the world's streakiest player, because for every 2 for 12 outing, there's an 18-point game with 4 back-breaking threes mixed in. If you've watched the Celtics enough, you've probably thought to yourself, damn, Smart's a pretty solid post player. Or you've heard Brian Scalabrine mention it about 3 times during the same broadcast. The game has moved away from post-up dominant players, but Smart can take advantage of a mismatch as well as any guard. It'll never be his most used play type, but with Marcus shooting 52% on these opportunities, it's a valuable weapon to keep in your back pocket. And it's clear that his skill has developed in these scenarios as well. Jayson Tatum has made great use of this weapon himself. In 2023, Tatum is one of the league's most efficient post players. This may come as a surprise considering Jayson was in the 33rd percentile, shooting 43% on post-ups last season. In comparison, JT is now in the 95th percentile, averaging 1.32 points per possession, shooting 61% from the field. First in the league in points per possession, with the 8th best field goal percentage. These stats are insane, no matter how you slice it. There's a combination of bully ball and shooting over the top of defenders that's a very fitting description of Tatum's game at this stage. He's become much more capable and comfortable playing a physical style when necessary, which is what I'm really speaking to here. Tatum is a wildly versatile player. This seems to be understood by him and the coaching staff with how he's being deployed. With Horford as the lone starting big before Rob returned, Tatum took on the role of a roller, pun intended. On the year, Tatum is scoring 1.3 points per possession on 48% shooting as the roll man. His 80 total possessions are on par or greater than a number of bigs like Nick Claxton, Pirtle, Plumlee, Nurkic, and Gobert. Tatum had just 59 possessions in 76 games last season. It gives him an opportunity to take advantage of his quick decision making as both a passer and scorer, and opens up a runway to the rim. Jayson still spends most of his time on the ball, but allowing him to tap into a big man style of play is doing wonders for him in the Celtics offense as a whole. While Tatum has seen a play style shift, Jaylen Brown is experiencing his own. Not as drastic, but still noteworthy. Despite a career high in turnovers per game, and some accompanying calls from fans to limit his on-ball responsibility, the opposite has been true. Brown is getting a lot of opportunities to initiate the offense. From a production standpoint, he's been sensational. I promise, I'm not gaslighting you. I have stats. Brown is in the 85th percentile as a pick and roll ball handler, generating 1.02 points per possession on 48% from the field. Both figures are top 15 in the NBA. He's running a more effective pick and roll than LeBron, Chris Paul, and James Harden, to name a few. And he's been much more efficient on a slightly larger frequency than he was last season. He's not a natural playmaker in these scenarios like the guys I mentioned above, but with time and reps, that ability can grow as well. For now, Jaylen is getting to the rim and torching defenders from the mid-range. Torching might even be an understatement. JB is in the top 20 for mid-range shot attempts and is shooting the third best field goal percentage in the league, a blistering 52%. He's also shooting 50% on 2-point pull-up jumpers. Combining this with his 70% in the restricted area, defense will always be on their heels. If his 3-ball ever comes back to life, alright, I won't get ahead of myself. Boston could have listened to the noise and kept Jaylen in his comfort zone, but the regular season is the exact time where experimentation is necessary. You can practice something every week and every offseason, but you might never fully grow without real in-game reps. Honestly, this is true for everything we talked about today. It was hard for some people to imagine Marcus Smart as an ideal floor general because he hadn't been handed the keys yet. Once he was, everything came together. For Tatum, the team is so good with the ball in his hands. So much so, the defenses will do anything to keep it away from him. Now there's creative ways to get him touches, and he's more comfortable exploiting mismatches, playing the role of a big man. This trio has had a lot of success, and won a lot of basketball games, but it's their willingness and ability to adapt that makes them special. There will be a time when the world looks back and reminisces on their contributions to this franchise, but I'm giving them their flowers today.
This video was brought to you by Nate. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, drop a like and subscribe. See you next time.